Go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Texas on Tap with Miss Helen, along with producer Kyle. And it has just been a great week with the interviews we had here at the Texas Podcast. Some really good stuff coming up.
Yeah, we normally don't talk about it until later on in the episode,
I
but
know.
so
So
much
we'll
stuff is
get
going
there.
on.
I
Well,
know.
I was actually going to say I had the same thought. Great minds think alike, but I wanted to go ahead and run
All the
everybody
time.
down just so everybody knows what we have coming up. We've got a very special one coming next week. We talked to Dwayne from Little Texas. Obviously, the 30th anniversary Little Texas album is coming out, so that's going to be freaking amazing. The conversation was so
Yeah.
good. The stories of the history of the band and the coming together of this project and all the individual nuances of each song. So very, very cool there. You have anything you want
Yeah.
to say about that one?
Oh, yeah. It was just amazing. And I have to say, it was one of those armpit sweaters. And I was about to throw up before we went on because it just meant Kyle got the text. I think I'm going to throw up, but it went really good. And oh yeah, just the Lone Star salute coming out to Little Texas, and you're gonna love the whole project. And the interview tells you everything about it. So make sure you um, tune into that before it comes out, so you kind of know what's
Yeah.
up.
And then after that, we've got Azteca Music Ranch, Carlos, the I guess president of Azteca Music Ranch, which you guys may not be familiar with, but you actually are. Sonny Sauceda, Rico Gonzalez are a part of that. And we get to talk to Carlos and three of their other roster artists, and they're doing some really cool stuff with bringing Tejano music over to Texas country right now. So you'll want to tune into that one and check that out. And then following that, we've got William Beckman, which is awesome. We've already recorded that interview and it went extremely well. So I'm really looking
Mhm.
forward to sharing that one with everybody. And then we've so many more to come, but Jim Nash will be joining us on the show right before the TCMA Awards. So look forward to that
Yes.
one. We're going to dive into all the nominees, all the different awards, all the cool stuff that's going to be happening at the award show. So that'll be a nice little kind of warm up for the TCMAs this year beforehand.
Yeah. It'll be a good one. We got some good ones on tap for the tap room this
Hmm.
episode.
Absolutely. You want to? I started last week. You want to get it going?
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
All right.
Let's see. Okay, so starting off brand new and out to radio, we're all familiar with Ty Smith, and Ty, of course, is a finalist for Young Artist of the Year with Texas Country Music Association under 18. So yes, in case you don't know, and you take a listen to Ty Smith, yes, he's a teenager. Instead of going homecoming, he's playing live shows in Lubbock, but he's so talented, and he teamed up with Casey Johns on a song called Lost and Found. And she has a single out called Rodeo Nights. Their voices just blend so perfectly together on this particular single. It's such a soulful intro. I like how the fiddle kind of is in the in the mix with this whole song lyrically as
Mm,
they go along. Of course, the harmonies are amazing. I may have already said that, but this kind of started out for Ty Smith and the Minor Offenses as kind of an acoustic kind of project, a solo project, and then they pulled Casey in, and the rest is history. It's absolutely gorgeous. Basically, there's a time when you need to leave a relationship, and they get very descriptive in the lyrics in this. Of course, Ty co-wrote the song, but kind of lyrically going through it, it's like if we both stay, then we both lose. And then it's very graphical with, or very descriptive, should I say, with burn it all away, take our hearts separate ways, let the ashes fall to the ground, leave this love in the lost and found. So it's a great job. I think everyone's going to enjoy this, and that's out to your favorite Texas country radio station. And now we're going to open the tap room door, a follow up to her number one, Bad Boy Good Man. This is Brandi Behlen and Austin Anymore. Wow, love that song. It's that driving thing with me anyway. I love how
mm.
she talks about playing in Round Rock. It's right by I-35. We got to avoid Austin in any way. What is it with finding guys in Austin? I had one of these situations like in my 20s, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. I still think of those memories. But anyway, I love where the city lights meet the river, where your green eyes make me shiver. But she sees so many signs, and it's like it's time to pull off and take the back roads because I ain't going to Austin anymore. So great job on that. And if those of you don't know, she's just like I said, coming off of her number one, Bad Boy Good Man. She is also nominated for TCMA. I mean, a finalist for Texas Country Music Association female artist, and she's also a school teacher. So Brandy's
Yeah.
doing it all, and it's a great, solid song from her. I'm just really intrigued with her voice and her music, her personality, and just her soul. So good job on that one. That is out also to your favorite Texas country music radio station.
And although I'm not currently looking for love, I can relate to that song wholeheartedly. I live about as close to downtown Austin as you could without being in proper downtown, and I do my best to avoid it at all costs. Even especially this weekend and last weekend with ACL Fest going on. So if you're not familiar, just stay away. Keep it easy. Make it simple.
Love it.
All right, and then moving on to mine, let's keep the tap room doors open. This is a big week for Flatland Cavalry. They just announced their Flatland Forever project, which is going to be kind of a recap of their favorite songs they've released over the last, I guess, the life of their band, but over the last 10 years. And this is the first single from a selection of new songs that are going to be on that project, and it's called Three Car Garage. I've been stoked for this one ever since I saw the little promo. Did you see that video they did where the garage door was closing on them and they were sitting in the garage, kind of just like
Yes.
jamming? Oh, it was so cool,
Yes.
so awesome. I really really like that. But like I said, they're fresh off the announcement of this project. They just played their first headlining show at Red Rocks this week. I believe it was sold out. Wilder Blue, Randy Rogers on the bill. Everything's going great for them. Everything's firing on all cylinders, it seems. So this is a great time to do this. And this song specifically to me is just a good old classic Flatland tune. It's almost like they're cementing this style of music that they've created. And to me, it's just kind of like wholesome country. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
it
It's
is.
like
Absolutely.
it reminds me of so many different things, but there's nobody that does it quite like them. And I think a lot of it has to do with the songwriting, obviously, but even the production, it's very warm, very inviting, very welcoming. And I expect more of that on this kind of tribute to themselves album. So I don't know. I love everything they're doing.
I loved everything about this song, and it took me back to my daddy's place. And it's like we would sit around and have those conversations, especially when they talk about the two weathered chairs. It's just the simple things, like you said, the cooler in between us, the modest montage, the memories that are made there. Everybody come in, we're going to solve your problems. And I just love it. And then even firing up the little Weber. So I
Yeah.
enjoyed that totally. And it's such a great sing along song, but it does kind of take you down memory lane to different places, like maybe your uncles or aunts or grandparents. Like you specifically spoke to me about my dad's place. But yeah,
Yeah.
good stuff right there.
Absolutely. All right, and then last up this week, Mr. Wynn Williams just dropped a new one to streaming today. It's called "A Woman Can Do That." This song is beautiful. I love everything that
Hmm.
Wynn touches. All of his songs are outstanding. He's so genuine, and you can tell that like he's never doing anything that isn't like true to himself. It's so obviously genuine, and I really, really appreciate that about him. But the vocal, the melodies, everything in this song are, I would say, impeccable. It's so great. The little production elements, the arrangements, everything in there makes the song so audibly appealing, and it's just a beautiful love song. It's like tells the story of the things that a woman can do to a man or to a partner. But I was distracted by all the cool little like
Yes.
this happening over here and this happening over here. It was like a musical journey almost. So fantastic stuff. I want to drop 20 grand and go record a record with whoever they recorded that song with because it sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
And you kind of have some of the same notes that I wrote down, you just specifically said, because everything Wynn puts out is such good quality. He's always just a game. Perfect.
Mhm.
Love it.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about our friends over at More Than Music Creations. I was hanging out with Bree the other day, recording some new podcast episodes for her show OnlyVans, and we actually had Michael and Michaela on the show. So that was cool. We got to talk to them about more the music and what they've been up to, and kind of the idea originally behind it. So look forward to listening to that on OnlyVans podcast. But I also got to see some of the new stuff she just recently designed for Bree, and Bree was talking about how everything flies off the shelf. Michaela will come and drop off a new selection of jewelry for the show. Actually, I don't even know if we've ever mentioned this, but aside from them having their store online, they make jewelry for the artists to sell at their merch tables. And that was the original
Mhm.
idea was all bands have the same stuff. You've got hats, you've got t-shirts. So it's like, how cool is it to be able to sell jewelry that's not only beautiful and handmade, but using your own guitar strings that you've played at your own merch table. So awesome. The concept's
It's
so
super
brilliant.
special. Yes, it's
Yeah.
super special. We've talked about it now for a while, long while.
And then I was telling them too about the story you had said at one point about how, you lost yours and you knew it would last because you had had a piece of guitar string jewelry before that. And it's like that's just another element to it. It's so
Mhm.
strong, it's so durable on top of being gorgeous. So very cool stuff
Yes.
they're doing.
Have you ever wondered how artists like Treaty Oak Revival, Red Clay Strays, and Aaron Watson maintain the high quality and high demand for their merchandise? CH Lone Star Promo is the answer. Created in Texas to serve Texas artists, and they're currently offering 15% off on all merch orders from musicians. Visit chlonestarpromo.com to get started and tell them Texas Toast sent you.
I was reading the other day that it takes at least $1 million to break an artist. That's a ton of change, and it can feel overwhelming. But with social media leveling the playing field, you just need an effective strategy to release your music. Check out Release Rocket to ensure your single does not die after release day. You've already put time, effort, and tons of money into writing and recording your album. Let the guys at Release Rocket keep your new release alive.
Okay, time to take a look at what's popping and topping on the charts briefly. David Adam Burns had a huge debut this week in the top 100 with More Afraid of Living at number 58. Keller Cox also good again at 70. Ryder Grimes had a good week this week. Jason Allen, Bart Crow on this particular chart, but coming in at number 1 again this week is Randy Rogers and Wade Bowen. And All I Want to Do Is Drink. Texas Regional Radio Report. You're going to be so happy about this one. Chad Cook Band has the number 1 hit on Texas Regional Radio Report, Smoke and Mirrors. So congratulations to our friends and CD Extraction Texas. All I Want to Do Is Drink, Randy Rogers and Wade Bowen at number 1 again this week. So that's a quick look at the charts. Congratulations to the Chad Cook Band. So excited for that one.
Yeah, very, very cool. I just got the chance to see those guys and play with them not too long ago, and that was a whole lot of fun. They always put on a great show.
Oh, they do a great
We
show.
know
There's
we know Captain Ron will vouch for that.
oh yeah, that's his voice. I
Yeah.
love him.
And then I wanted to
Okay.
mention, well, yeah, so our friends Chase the Night, your Katy, Texas boys, just put out a new
Yeah.
song earlier this week, and they're going to be playing in your area of the world this tonight, actually. And then they've got
Hmm.
a new EP coming out next Friday, so be on the lookout for all that stuff.
I saw that. And I haven't run into grandma in a while. I guess I've been staying too busy. I haven't been going to Dollar General as much as I usually do. We always run in. This is some country stuff right here. We usually run into each other at DG or on the road if I'm in the truck and she'll wave. She's the
Oh,
sweetest
that's
lady. But
hilarious.
anyway, yeah. Okay. So yeah.
Man, well, what do we talk about now? We already ran them through who we have coming up. I guess we could talk about Clayton Mullen. If you guys are longtime listeners of the show, he's a repeat guest. We had him on probably, what was that, 2 years ago,
Hmm.
right when he was kind of just starting to dump out music. And now, since then, he's released tons of stuff. He's toured with some of the biggest names in country music. He's just now put out his debut full-length album. And so we got him back on the show to talk about all that. And it was great. The conversation was awesome. Learned a lot more stuff about him. It's kind of surprising how like not only humble he is because he's more on the mainstream country side of things, and he openly is admitting that he's not trying to be Texas country. Although I think he still does kind of toe the line a little bit. He sings about Texas. His themes are very Texas driven. It's just kind of the music production that separates him from the red
Hmm.
dirt scene. But I don't know. I've really enjoyed Clayton since he started putting out music, so it's cool to see him finally dropping this album.
Yeah. The album's great. And so I'm going to switch gears to baseball.
Oh, Jesus. Do we have
So
to?
I have been getting into the San Diego and Dodgers series.
Oh, have you?
Like, okay, so like after the Astros were eliminated, so I mean, I'm baseball anyway. I'm gonna watch no matter what. I was watching, actually it was funny because last weekend when the guys were here with the whole fishing tournament fiasco, which we might talk about or maybe not talk about, like one of the guys said, I can't believe you're watching. He switched the channel to like a already recorded college game. And I'm like, what are you doing? I'm watching the baseball. Oh, I can't watch baseball if the Astros aren't in it. And I said, I'm
That's how
sorry. I
I
just love
feel.
baseball. I just love baseball.
Yeah.
But there was a game between the Dodgers and the Padres, and they were playing in LA. And Profar was in the outfield. And oh, was it Mookie? Oh, I can't remember the batter. But anyway, it looked like it was okay. So boom, he hits the ball. It goes out. Profar's going for it, right? The crowd has their hands up. He puts his glove out. And so in the middle of all that, you can't really tell where the ball went, but I'm thinking, did he catch it? He just kind of stands back for a bit. And
Mm.
they already got the home run fireworks going off and
Mm,
home run on the TV, and all of a sudden, boom, drop the mic. He had the
what?
ball. He caught the ball. Well, evidently the Dodgers fans got a little butthurt over that because later on in the game, and if anybody that watched this saw it, all of a sudden it was like, you know how the players will do, like if there's a ball or something and they'll toss it up to the crowd. Well, they
Yeah.
threw it back at him. Well,
Mm.
that resulted in the fans throwing stuff in the bullpen. Center field was getting stuff. It was like,
Oh
oh,
man.
the game got halted. All of these people came out. It was crazy.
What's
So
that
anyway, yeah,
series at right now? Padres are looking
it's
pretty good,
no, they're
right?
tied. They're tied.
Oh, it's
They're
tied.
tied.
Okay.
It's
Wow.
it's 2-2, and then whoever wins that will go on to face the Mets. And then AJ Hinch's team is leading 2-1. Well, of course, we're recording this on
Yeah,
Thursday, so you know.
sure.
And then whoever wins the KCs or Yankees, and that's who Hinch will face.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's
And then the
pretty exciting
Mets.
stuff.
The Mets already won it, right?
Yeah, the Mets. They're
So,
waiting to see who wins between them crazy Padres and Dodgers. And
yeah.
those fans hate each other. I think
Yeah.
they're worse than the Rangers Astros fans. I mean,
You
it's like
probably, I mean, that makes sense.
I didn't know how bad it was. So I've been like doing my research and then tuning into like intentional talk. I love watching intentional talk. But
Man,
anyway, so yeah,
maybe I'll have
I
to
was
start watching. I've been a Debbie Downer, to be honest. When they lost that game, game three, or sorry, game two of the wild card, I was just really, I felt like heartbroken almost, just because it's like, I'm young, but like more than a quarter of my life until now has been October baseball. So it's very
I
odd.
know,
It feels
I
like
know.
I'm missing something. So I've been really trying to distract myself with football, just watching
Well,
every single football
I
game I
know.
can find.
I just hang on to baseball as long as I can because
Yeah.
I'm just that's where my heart is in baseball. I love it. So this is getting fun. So we got to keep
Is
up
there
with
any
it.
word on Bregman yet?
Nothing. I haven't seen
That's
anything.
that's another heartbreaker there. That would be very devastating if he's gone.
I know not only just as a player, but all the stuff that he's done for the community and how involved he
Exactly.
and his
Yeah.
wife.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right. Well, is there a happy note we can end on?
happy note, yes. All of Captain Ron's stuff was returned.
Oh yeah.
Thanks to our wonderful fishing family in Matagorda. Word got out, and it actually was taken. It was guilted into being returned. It was about $1,000 in between rod and reels and tackle. Maybe,
Wow.
well, that Ron said no. It was just the Sarge rod is it yeah anyway, so it was
Man.
expensive, but the main thing, it was sentimental, especially the Sarge wingman rod. And if you fish, you know about Sarge rods. And wingman was the rod that was made for our dear friend that passed away, Captain Jesse Arsola.
Yeah.
And so that was a very special rig. But it just goes to show, slow your roll sometimes, because Ron was like loading stuff. He didn't fish in our boat. This was like a J&H boat owners tournament.
Mm, mm,
And so he had set his stuff there by the boat ramp, and he said, look, guys, grab this. I'm going to go back and get one more thing. I think he had to get his wading boots out of the vehicle.
mm.
It was wading boots, and came back, thought that they had put a boat, they get out to the fishing spot. And so I was loving it because this was one tournament I didn't have to fish. So I got to sleep in. Oh, it's like barely the sun's rising. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, what's wrong? Can you go to the harbor? And I was like, y'all, seriously, I couldn't believe it. And there was nothing there. So we have a fishing group on social media here that everybody shared. And of course, my good friends at the Harbor Bait and Tackle, I've known them forever. Like, they were on top of it, looking at video footage. So ultimately, Sunday morning, we got a phone call when we thought, well, it's done. Just,
Yeah.
lick your wounds and go on. And so, yeah, still good things can happen.
That's
And
awesome.
the other good news, I'm sorry, the other
No,
good
you're good.
news is, like, we had to replace, I didn't tell the story about the lower unit on the boat, but
Mm.
the part wasn't supposed to be in until like the end of October. And all of a sudden, a boat mechanic calls the other day and says the boat's ready. So we're going fishing after this.
Hell yeah. Right on.
I thought I'm going to have a whole month or
It's
so
nice
without
weather too.
fishing. So yeah, yeah.
Well, there you
That's all
go.
good news. That's all good news.
Absolutely. Very good news. And then another good note to end on. Make sure you guys are streaming Sarah Hobbs' Delta Dawn if you are
I
not
was fixing to
already.
say,
It is the
yes.
coolest cover, I think, all year, but also Sarah knocked it out of the park. It's so good. So go check that one out.
Yes. And it's out to your favorite Texas radio station also. So call them and request them. Make sure it's
Oh
your
yeah.
favorite Texas radio station. where you know
And
your people.
your second favorite.
Your second favorite. I don't know if there's two. I don't know. It's interesting. I wonder if there's two Texas radio stations formatted in the same market.
Yeah, probably
It's
not.
kind of
That's a good point.
interesting.
Maybe in Houston you've got like K-Star and then the Bull, I guess.
Yeah.
Is there anything in like Baytown or Atascocita or Humble? No?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, that's
Got
probably as close as
crickets.
you get. Or maybe I don't know,
Crickets.
maybe in that South Fort Worth like the
Probably
ranch
Fort Worth,
area.
maybe.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know anything about radio, so that's why Helen's here. All right.
Yeah.
Well, good stuff. We will talk to you all on Tuesday with Dwayne from Little Texas.
It's a good one. Don't miss it. Cheers.
Cheers.